G'day. I wanted to have a look at a few reasons why Australia lost the test last week, and as usual it's no one thing. I'm just going to pick a couple out. The first one's going to be around the interplay between attack and defence. First of all, how much better the attack of the English was. So if you remember a couple of weekends ago we had an analysis we were saying where if the English could just speed up their ball, how much more dangerous they can be. And I've just got a couple of clips here which kind of show that, really. Show how much more dangerous the English can be with a bit of straight running and a bit of quick ball. So watch Youngs here, the halfback, how quickly he's clearing that ball, what that means to his runners, big runners, fast runners coming onto the ball and getting over the gain line. And in both of these situations, sure, there was a throw forward there. You'll also see a turnover at the end of this set of phases. But how dangerous the Poms looked, really. And this is in the first 10 minutes or so of play. Each time the Poms driving through, fast ball, and we see what happens in this situation here, affecting in a turnover. But that was the first thing we talked about, how this fan defence from Australia is susceptible to a couple of things, and one of those is fast ball. We also talked about last week how the fan defence really depends upon having good line speed. Now in this next sequence you'll see that at the beginning of this set of phases the line speed isn't bad. So in each of these cases here you saw the line racing up and cutting down the space that the English runners have to make. But watch as the phases unfurl here and see how the line speed starts to slow. So here really the tackle happened around the gain line and the English runners managed to make it over. In this situation there was absolutely no line speed whatsoever. Australian defenders were really on their back heels and the English runners were coming at them, and really you can see the English runners just here making meters at will. And again, if there wasn't some handling errors here, then probably we'd be looking at another try. And the other thing I wanted to look at was the way that the new attacking axis for Australia, Quade Cooper and Will Genia or Sanchez, worked. Now, everyone noticed how the Poms really targeted Quade Cooper, and what we noticed was that Easter, the number 8, and the number 7, both targeted him and whenever possible raced out of the line to cut down the options that Genia had in going to Quade Cooper. Another example here which really tied Quade Cooper up. Maybe what you didn't notice also was that the Poms whenever possible ran at Cooper as well, so they didn't just leave him alone when they were defending, they also looked at him when they were on attack. Now as a result of this pressure, the Aussies stopped going to Cooper as a running option and in fact started going wide, hoping to get around this defensive pressure, and both of these two clips show the results of this. So here's Genia in a second. He's going to spread it wide to Cooper, who's then going to simply ship it on out wide. And what this meant was the Australian attack started going very, very lateral indeed. And actually in both of these situations you'll watch the attack basically get bundled into touch. The other thing though I wanted you to watch in these couple of clips is just how slow Sanchez Genia's clearance was. Now with Cooper being pressured by the back row, what you'd probably expect then is there's going to be some gaps in the transition zone or some fatties in the transition zone that someone like Will Genia, we know how good he is in attacking those spaces, would then be able to take advantage of that, which would then take some of the pressure off Quade, and we get back into our attacking rhythm. But that didn't happen at all on the weekend. Will Genia made only one real attacking run in the whole game. And we're going to look in a little while at some opportunities that were there that he really passed up. Really uncommon for him, and I can only think that he was still injured, and really this really was too early for him to be coming back. And actually here's another situation coming up now where actually he was so slow that, watch this, Tom Croft even has time to come from through the gate and pilfer the ball off him. And here's a perfect example of how unusual this was for Will Genia. Look at the gap that's between the English number 1 and number 5 that he doesn't take advantage of. This isn't the Will Genia that we're used to watching for Queensland. Instead the ball goes on to Quade and he's wrapped up. The final thing I wanted to look at is some basic attacking skills. There was a few examples on the weekend that were an absolute shocker. There are two great attacking opportunities here, both butchered with really, really simple errors. First of all, James O'Connor, all he needed to do was straighten and then offload. He's already committed the tackler, but instead what we see is A, he's drifting towards the sideline, B, he takes it on too long, and the whole attacking move's lost with a 3-on-1 overlap. The next one here, this gets butchered twice. First of all, here's Rocky. He's going to drift sideways rather than straightening and offloading with a 3-on-0. Richard Brown could have saved it here if he'd straightened and committed Tyndall, but instead what we'll see is he ships it straight on, allows Tyndall to take everything into touch. Two great opportunities wasted.